Russia's currency is taking a major hit as Western sanctions dig in following the Ukraine invasion. The ruble plunged to record lows against the dollar, forcing Russia's central bank to increase interest rates and to buy gold on the domestic market. Several major Hollywood studios like Disney, Sony, and Warner Brothers are halting releases of upcoming movies in Russia as Moscow intensifies its Ukraine invasion. Blockbuster films such as The Batman Turning Red and Morbius will no longer premiere in the country. And the economic impact of Russia's invasion of Ukraine could move beyond higher gas prices. Analysts warn that the cost of food in the U.S. could increase, citing Ukraine as one of the world's largest producers of wheat and some seed oils. So here to discuss all of this is Laura Reiley. She's a reporter covering the business of food at the Washington Post. Laura, thanks for joining me. I was sort of surprised that the price of wheat could be impacted, only because I thought this country produced an awful lot of wheat as well. What foods could this affect, and how much more could Americans be paying?
Well, you're absolutely right. We are net exporters of wheat, but the Ukraine is a huge exporter of wheat and corn, as well as sunflower oil, along with Russia. And the expectation is that those Ukrainian crops won't get planted this year and that the Russian crops will be embargoed. And so a lot of parts of the world will be in need of imports. And so there'll be a mad scramble for, the excess, including our excess. So there may be more exports from the U.S., which will drive up domestic price. And we are already starting from a position of very high prices. We all know that from the grocery store. And so experts that I spoke with said, expect some of these hikes pretty much instantly because of the interconnectedness of some of these markets.
So, you gave us some numbers there. Just how much does the U.S., I guess, really, and the world depend on wheat and seed oil from this region?
Well, so the Ukraine and Russia account for about 29% of wheat exports and 75% of sunflower oil exports. And you may think, well, I don't use a lot of sunflower oil, but all of the vegetable oils are very interconnected. And if one gets a little expensive, they all get expensive. And as we know, things like soybean oil in this country have skyrocketed in the past year, partly because of our pivot towards cleaner burning biofuels. And so we already have soybean oil prices that are double what they were a year ago.
Could that be good news, though, for American farmers? Not that there's anything good about this situation, but if the price of wheat goes up because there's demand and less supply, I presume that farmers here could benefit from that.
I wish I could be optimistic about this. Another component is that Russia is a huge exporter of natural gas. And a component in natural gas is a main ingredient in fertilizer. So fertilizer for American farmers, which is already starting from a position of very high prices, will continue to go up. So that in turn impacts the cost per acre of planting, whether that's corn or soy or specialty crops, that the vegetables that we eat, and that cost will be passed up the chain, right, to grocery stores and then on to the consumer. So and even beef and things that require animal feed, the cost of that will go up. So you may see indirectly costs for beef, pork, and chicken go up as a result of natural gas in Russia not being exported to the same degree.
Wow, Laura, that is fascinating. Every day I'm reminded of just how connected we are in this world, and following our food is a great way to remind you of that. Laura Reiley, thank you very much.
Thank you.